Hey guys, it's Jaron back with another alternate crafting video for you guys. Sorry this one took a little longer than normal. Been a little bit under the weather. Not feeling too great lately, so I would have had this video out the day after the patch, but yeah, better late than never. So, as you guys know, I like to craft a little bit differently than some of the normal videos you may see on YouTube and other posters online. I like to post videos with basic minimum crafting requirements, and this recent patch last week, this past weekend, they released new crafting and gathering gear, item level 720 gear for your crafters and gatherers, and I want to show you guys an alternate way to make the gear with no overmelds needed. You don't need any overmelds. It's really quite simple, actually. Well, let me put a disclaimer out there. There is one overmeld needed, but it's very minor, and I'll show you that here in a minute. So the crafting gear is this Everseer's gear. They released the tools, and the left side, the actual gear pieces themselves and the accessories will come out at a future time. So I want to show you guys how to actually make this gear and these materials, these leathers and these nanofibers, without needing any overmelds. It's really not needed. And to be honest, this set is really not needed right now. Personally, I may actually just wait for the green set to come out, the final set for the expansion. But we'll see. So let me show you my gear set right now. I am on my leather worker, and we'll go through my melds real quick. Now, normally I would have some junk materia on these on my gear right now, you know, some low-level PD or spell speed or determination, whatever, just to get the spirit bonding bonuses. But I decided to take them off just to show you guys a little bit clearer that there's really no overmelds needed, and then, you know, I can always put them back on at a future time. But we'll go through well, let's look at my stats real quick. My CP is at 620, and my craftsmanship is at 4717, and my control is at 4402. So I actually have a few different rotations in order to make this gear. As you guys know, I do this on my specialist because I'll need those additional abilities and a little bit of the stat boost from the soul crystal. Excuse me. So these are specialist rotations. You will need your specialist, which means you need your crafter's delineations to use your specialist abilities. And right now my stats are pretty low. They're actually extremely low, but that's okay because we don't need much more than this right now. So let me go through the melds real quick. We'll start with my main hand tool. Just has a CP plus 8. Now the headpiece. I mentioned before that I needed just one minor overmeld, and the reason being is because the new 2-star mats, the nanofibers for Alchemist that came out, requires 4780 craftsmanship. And after I used my food and my tea, I had 4777. So I was 3 craftsmanship short. So I just decided to throw a +3 on the headpiece just to get right up to the bare minimum. 4780 craftsmanship is what's needed, and that's exactly what I'll have. No more, no less. So it's actually worked out really well. So for the headpiece, I have, you'll see I have a control grade 12 and a craftsmanship grade 12 in the guaranteed slots, which should be just fine. And then one minor overmeld. I put the craftsmanship +3 on there. Body piece is another control and craftsmanship grade 12s. The hands are a couple of control grade 12s. Same thing with the legs. The feet is a control grade 12 and a CP grade 12 for the plus 11 CP. The rings are CP. Very simple. Got a couple. They can hold 7 CP each, so I just put a grade 10 on each of them. Very simple. The bracelet can hold a CP plus 10 is all we need on the bracelet, so I put a grade 10 on there. Same thing with the necklace. And the earring, I needed 1 extra CP, so I just made that, excuse me, a grade 12 CP for the CP plus 11 bonus. And the offhand tool is just 8 more CP. So let's go into the rotation here. Since we're on our leather worker, let's go into our crafting log here. And it's quite interesting. The 2-star, level 100 2-star mats from the prior patch, the difficulty is 4125, so it's over 4,000 difficulty, but the quality is only 12,000. Now, if we go over to Alchemist real quick, whoops. And if we look at the nanofibers, the progress, the difficulty is a little bit less. It's only 3783, but the quality is quite a bit higher. It's 12,848. So I have 2 separate rotations. One for the earlier 2-star mat and one for the brand new 2-star mat. Both of them will guarantee 100% success rate and 100% quality. So it's really quite simple to do. Now, if we look at our stats again, my craftsmanship is 4717, control is 4402, and my CP is 620. Now, the food I'm going to be using is actually going to be from an earlier expansion, an earlier patch, the Jinga Barani. It's got a high quality Jinga Barani is CP plus 86 and control plus 90. Now there's a similar food. If we go into the crafting log and we look at the food, I believe it's Ronick steak. Where is it? Let's see. Ronick steak. Yes. I don't have any of these right now. This is the same thing as the Jinga Barani, but it offers a little bit more benefit. The Ronick steak has CP plus 92 and control plus 97. So either one works. The Ronick steak or the Jinga Barani. I just happen to have the Jinga Barani, so that's what I'm going to use. Additionally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the Competent Craftsman Tisane, which gives me craftsmanship plus 63. Because if we look at our crafting log again, at these nanofibers, right here at the bottom it says craftsmanship required 4780. So I need to get to that 4780 mark. Excuse me. And that Tisane is going to help us do that in order to be able to craft this. So if I want to make, let's see, if I want to make these hands, all right, this gargantua leather, that's a very simple recipe. We don't even need to talk about that. These solutions are script items, and aether sand is, we all know how to get aether sand at this point. So let's go ahead and see if we can craft one of these leathers real quick. And do I have the mats? Yes, I have exactly what I need. Great. So let's go ahead and use the Jinga Barani, our food, and use our tea, the Competent Craftsman Tisane. Now if we look at our stats, you see my craftsmanship now is 4780. That's why I needed this +3 craftsmanship on the headpiece. or any piece. It doesn't matter. You could put whatever will accept it is fine. Because we needed to reach that bare minimum requirement of 4780 in order to craft the nanofibers. And without that +3, we would only be at 4777. So just threw a +3 on there. No big deal. So now if I want to craft this leather here, which is an older, it was an older leather from the last patch. I created a macro for that, and I labeled it old. This is the 100 2-star 35 durability specialist recipe from the old patch, and then we'll follow along with this here once we're ready to craft it. And then this macro underneath it here is the new rotation for the new 2-star recipe. Since it has slightly different requirements, I had to tweak the macro a little bit. So let's go ahead and make this leather real quick. So we'll go into the macros here, and this is the rotation for this leather that came out last patch. This is the old rotation. So we'll start with a reflect, manipulation, veneration for a big groundwork. Then we're going to use a delicate. Now we need to use observe to get back 5 durability to use careful synthesis. Now we're going to use an innovation and 4 prudent touches. Ooh, one of them was on poor status. That should be okay. Now the start of the second part of the macro here, we'll start with the Master's Mend. And we'll use Heart and Soul and Intensive Synthesis for a big progress boost. And we'll use Great Strides, Trained Perfection, and then a Quick Innovation for our Preparatory Touch. And then a Delicate Synthesis, and a Trained Finesse, Great Strides, Innovation, and a couple more Trained Finesses. And a Great Strides. And now I didn't put Baragat's Blessing in the macro just in case I was on poor status right now. I know you could use a Tricks of the Trade in order to get rid of it and stuff like that, but I just decided to leave it out and just finish it manually. If we were on poor status, then I would use this action right here, Careful Observation, just to get rid of the poor status and then do Baragat's Blessing. But since we landed on good, there's no need for that. So let's just go ahead and finish it out with Baragat's Blessing. And then a basic synth to finish out the leather. There we go. And let's see what else we need. We need one more of these optical nanofibers, which is Alchemist. And Alchemist is also one of my specialist jobs. So you'll see there, craftsmanship required 4780 and control required 4450. If we go into my stats, craftsmanship, right on the money, 4780. And control is about 42 points higher than needed. We needed 4450, we're at 4492. So we're good to go. Now let's make another one of these optical nanofibers, and you'll see the quality is a excuse me, a bit higher. It's 848 points higher, but the progress is a little bit lower. So I had to tweak the macro a little bit in order to accommodate those variations in stats a little bit, required stats. So let's just go ahead and use this new rotation now, and please feel free to pause and copy this down if you like. So we'll start with a reflect, a manipulation, veneration, and groundwork again. Then we'll use delicate. Now we'll use innovation. And then another delicate. And now 4 prudent touches. Excuse me. And the second part of the rotation here is pretty similar. But you'll see in here I had to add a basic touch instead of a delicate synthesis because we just didn't have enough CP. So I wanted to get that boost to our quality, but I needed to figure out a way to do that without the added increase in CP from delicate synthesis. So I just changed it to a basic touch. So we'll go ahead and execute this one. Master's Man with a heart and soul for a big intensive synthesis. And then we'll use our great strides, trained perfection, and a quick innovation for our preparatory touch. And then a basic touch. Now we can do our trained finesse, great strides, innovation, and 2 more trained finesses. And then a great strides. And look at that, 24 CP left, which is exactly what we need for Bayergot's Blessing. So let's go ahead and finish out the craft with Bayergot's. And now we just use our basic synth to finish it out. And there's your optical nanofiber. No overmelds needed. No crazy overmelds needed. And if we want to go ahead and make the piece of gear, we can use a rotation for that as well. Let's go ahead and make these gloves. So now that we know we can make all of these mats high quality, we'll just plug them in, 100%, no problem. And we'll go into our macros again here. And here's the 70 durability rotation for the specialist. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, guys. Still getting over a little bit of a bug. All right, so let's go ahead and execute this. Muscle memory, manipulation, waste not 2, and then veneration for 4 big groundworks. Now the progress on this is over 8,000, so pretty high. So we got to make sure we get our progress up there quickly. Then we'll use innovation for 2 preparatory touches, a prudent touch, and a delicate synthesis. Nice. Now the second part of the rotation, we're going to start with 2 prudent touches. We're going to use a trained perfection, and then great strides and innovation for a big preparatory touch. A trained finesse, a great strides. Now again, I didn't put Bayergot's Blessing in here just in case we were on poor status, in which case we would use careful observation to get rid of it. But we're not. So we can just go ahead and finish out the craft with Bayergot's Blessing. Now you'll see here, we're still quite a bit away from finishing the progress, which is why I left 33 CP after we finished the quality portion to make sure that we're able to get our progress up to where we need to be. If we look at our calculations, basic synth won't do it. Heck, even a careful synthesis won't do it. It's only 457. It's just not good enough. But since we have so much CP left over, we could use veneration. And now if we look at our careful synthesis, now it gives us 685, which is more than enough to finish out the craft. So, a little extra step here at the end, but still, easy peasy, no problem. We use our careful synthesis. And there's your gloves. So I hope you guys found that useful. We have a rotation to make the early 2-star mats, the leathers and the sterling silver ingots and stuff like that from the last patch. And then I also showed you a new 35 durability rotation for the new 2-star mats, like these nanofibers here. They needed a little bit of a different rotation because the requirements are a little bit different. You know, the quality and the difficulty are a little bit different than the earlier mats. So a couple of different rotations there to show you guys how to make both of those items 100% HQ whenever you need them, and then a rotation to make the gear itself. And with that said, you've got your new 720 crafting and gathering gear. No crazy overmelds needed. Just some food, some tea, and your specialist. I hope you guys found that useful, and save your materia. We still have another set coming out, the green set, this expansion, and that's when, me personally, I'll be overmelding my set very heavy, because I've been holding on to my materia, as you can see here, to be able to craft that green set for when we are ready to do the resplendent tools. Hopefully they give us a new relic, a resplendent tool 2.0. I'm hoping maybe some kind of platinum color or some kind of crazy color would be really nice to have. But I'm kind of hoarding my materia right now for if and when that comes out, because I'd be very excited about that. I'd love to show you guys how to do that. So hope you guys found that useful, and happy crafting, and good luck, guys. Have a great day.